Senor Martinez.
Senor Alex, how are you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
How are you liking the food around here?
Oh, food is great. It's phenomenal.
Any particular dish you like? Or?
Oh, I mean, I'm from New Orleans, so we have Mexican dishes.
Oh, yeah.
There already. I love chimichangas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you say that right, but that's the way I call it.
It's close enough. I mean, I've never had any New Orleans food. I guess they're really accustomed for their Cajun food. I've only had, been to San Antonio and I've been to Chicago once with my wife. And
Okay.
But yeah, I guess I really haven't had a chance to get the Cajun culture.
Right.
So,
food is good. I mean, I love Mexican food. It's really great. The atmosphere too. I've been here for since yesterday, and it's different. It's great. I like the atmosphere around here.
Yeah, we're really a family culture, and it kind of bleeds out into our society. Everyone's friendly with each other. We try to keep it that way. I guess that's it keeps up.
I mean, everyone, you just want to have a good time. Just get to enjoy each other. I mean, it's just
right.
It's just great. It's a little bit different from the kind of American culture,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it could be a little bit of a culture shock whenever you first get here, kind of like it was whenever I went to America for the first time.
Right.
Do you have any kids?
I have one on the way currently.
On the way? Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I have three. I have an 8, 7, and a 3-year-old or 2-year-old. Correct. Yeah, 3-year-old.
Awesome.
Yeah, the two oldest, they're both in soccer right now. They love it. I love soccer. It's the greatest sport to ever be. I mean,
it's the biggest sport in the world.
It really is. It's hard not to like it. I mean, it's just the fast pace and the intensity of it. It's hard not to fall in love with it.
Definitely. I mean, anybody can play it. I mean, not maybe professional, but anybody can play. Just get out there and just have a good time.
Right.
So again, it definitely brings people together. Just to
Have you ever been to a match around here? Or well, obviously not around here, but have you ever been to a match?
I actually have not, but it's I've definitely seen it on TV. So.
Well, you should definitely try it out around here. It's a completely different experience than it is with American football over there. It's similar to that, but like the passion y'all have, it's a different kind of passion. It's our life down here. We'll take off from work to go watch a match, and it's just our lives revolve around it, and it's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, America's got things seems to be a little bit backwards in some cases, but
right.
It's some cases it's the way the market goes. So I can see why you have both ways going as far as centering around the sports and activities that we do, especially the ones that revolve around family, too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
the wholesomeness of it is just it's good for the kids to get out, and they good for them to be active in it, and and gets them part of the community and gets them to interact with different friends, and the competitiveness of it really helps them in their life in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, Mr. Is there any other things that you'd like to try out around here? Or is there certain things that you're interested in looking at or experiencing?
I definitely. I don't think I've got to see the museum yet. It's pretty.
Yes.
My understanding is pretty extensive, especially with I think even the Aztec culture that was old ancient culture and so forth. There's a lot to offer, especially in Mexico.
Yeah, and it's part of our culture. We really tend to stick by it. It's what made us who we are over here, or you get to see whenever you go to these museums, you can see some of the things that they used over there, some of the ways that they acted, the ways that they conducted things, and you can still see some of those things and how we've evolved and where we came from. It really is a direct. You can see the direct relationship between the way things were back then and the way they are now.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's I do like art and everything. It's and then the arts and culture in general. So, and I know you know, music and I mean, where I'm from, you know, we like to drink too. So it's like, you know, that's kind of all a part of it too. So it's kind of, you know, very festive.
Right.
So it's definitely one place I would definitely come back and see and definitely try to enjoy. You know. Have you ever done any lucha libre? I mean, we call it wrestling in America, but I mean, I've wrestled a little bit.
Well, I've watched a couple matches before. I've never wrestled, as you would say. In my lifetime, it seems a lot of people in that industry, they tend to get injured, and you know it's a limited time you're able to be in it. But
right, definitely.
You know that, like soccer, it's one of the main sports in our culture. We've had for the past 30 years, we've actually had more world champions, and I mean, it's a big part. I enjoy watching it. It's just I'm more of a fan of the football.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, it's a high intensity sport, you know.
Right.
So I mean, it's definitely a different contrast overall. You know, just I mean, even kind of like, you know, business between like U.S. and how we do business, and you know, typically, you know, versus even how y'all do it, or even say similarly like with China, you know, you want to know who you're dealing with, you know, and I think that's something that's lost sometimes in America, is like you just want to get down to business early and be done, and it's like, well, what's can't really build a relationship that way, you know?
Yeah, you're right, and it's a family is so important to me. I want to do the best I possibly can for them. I want to be successful for them. I want to help the people that I love. I want to help the people that are going to be there for me and for my whole life, the people to support me. The family is just it's a big deal, and it's it's important to me, and I feel it's important to the American culture as well. But
I just think a little bit of society kind of diminishes it a little bit as far as allowing the family culture to be as active, you know. Not that it's not active at all, but it could be more family oriented than it is currently, you know, just by society.
And not that it doesn't work for your culture and in America. It's what drives us in Mexico.
Right.
Work drives the society in America, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I mean, it's hardworking people, you know, trying to make a living, and you know, it's definitely families do hard. They work hard and don't spend as much time if they have to, you know, in order to make, you know, good business and so forth, you know. So it's just directed different ways.
Right.
Well, all right. You know, we definitely came here to kind of talk about other things too. We had some the other guy that was with our company. He had left, of course, went to a different.
Senor Pettigrew?
Yes. He went to a different industry altogether. So.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
It works for him.
So yeah, I hope so too. So I don't know if there was anything, what was going on there, but what I do know is, there were some things that was going on in the past few months. Sales are doing great, and the market in Mexico kind of had shifted a little bit, especially with some devaluation.
Right.
Going on, so it's kind of disrupted some of our sales.
Right.
So we kind of have to, I guess we need to figure out what we can do, or what we should do to continue on and continue this partnership, that we do have, so that we're able to make our sales and our profits, that you and I both want, You have any concerns?
Yeah, the devaluation of the peso, it has taken a negative effect in our ability to make sales, because it while the value of the dollar remains the same, it made it 3 times as hard to complete a sale. Because the price tripled, and the demand for a product at that price really was not hitting where it needed to be, where it was at 300 pesos. So I guess, is there any suggestions that you have for that?
And I mean, I know we're still discounting at 10% right now, if we have to. For new customers, I think there's ways we can maybe work with the pricing structure a little bit.
Right.
Maybe work on maybe even the staff itself, the sales staff, cutting costs in certain areas to help with that, and maybe not too much and maybe allowing for more in one area than another. So like maybe, and then maybe changing some other things that might drive sales even more so. Right. And then, some things I want to, kind of see what your opinion was about things too. So.
Yeah, I'm willing to work together and to solve this, to increase our sales in order to maintain this relationship that we have right now.
Right.
But to do that, to be able to increase our sales, we need one thing that I feel that would be vital to that, one thing that I feel that would help us in that end, increase our sales, would be to allow us to have a higher discount rate. Instead of increasing it from 10%, maybe up to 25%. I feel it would give our salesmen and our company the ability to be more honest and be more connected with our customers, to be able to give them the ability to pay less, because not only has the devaluation of the dollar, a devaluation of the peso, hurt our business, it's hurting their businesses as well. There are many businesses that we're connected with, that we sell to. They're cutting back a lot as well. They're not making any large purchases right now, and with the $900 pesos per license, it's our minimum sale. We sell probably around 2,500 to 3,000 per licenses per company that we contact. So I feel if we were able to save them money, it would help our economy, and maybe help our economy and be able to help them, and then they'll in turn help us.
All right. I think we should. I think that's something we can consider, but I think we should look at it a different way. Maybe instead of 24%, it would definitely increase it, but increase our sales. The only issue I see is we would need to probably put a limit on it. But I would suggest, and this is what what I would think would be the best is at 15% discount for like for limited time, meaning like we can discount for new customers 15%, and continuously give them that 15% through New Year's. So like, because every year they gotta buy the new licenses and everything. With the 25%, I mean, if we do that and say this particular customer can do that, we wouldn't be able to. I mean, if the pesos rebound, I mean, we're gonna lose money on the other end when the economy does improve and everything. So, I think if anything, we could start with say 15%. So I mean, an extra 5% is huge as far as dollars is concerned. Or pesos is concerned. So if we do that for like a limited time, meaning we do it for an entire year and see where the economy is at, we can keep that 15% amount. Now, I mean, with this, I think as we talk about later on, we can discuss this 15% or 25% in greater detail because it does coincide with, I think, a few other things.
Right.
One other thing is I'm going to kind of skip down and go to, let's kind of go through the different issues that we have going on, I guess, first, and then we can go back and go through it. So we kind of discussed that we do need to probably discount it more. So we're definitely in agreement there, because we can make up it with increasing our sales still, and not really we'll lose some profit margin as far as profit margin, but we may still increase our sales in general. So I think we can definitely work on that. The sales staff, I think. I mean, what do you think about hiring additional sales staff? Because we're under budget in that area.
Well, the issue with the sales staff right now is we just hired 3 new salesmen, and we just finished training them, and I think they're ready to go out onto the field and be able to get some leads for us. With the law of the customs of Mexico, whenever we terminate an employee, we are required to pay 3 months of severance pay to anyone who's terminated after being employed for over a year. So while hiring somebody right now would be a good idea, it's the long-term relationships that we build over time. Whenever we have an older employee, an older salesman, their contacts will always use them. The new salesman would not be able to generate the contacts that the older salesman would have. So I don't believe that would be an answer for the short term or the long term. What we have now is what we can get. It would also cost more because it is custom in Mexico for companies to pay a Christmas bonus of between 2 and 1 month's pay for during Christmas.
Okay.
Just to help our families out and stuff like that. And I guess the next issue would be the advertising and promotion.
That was another thing I was going to ask to see is why we are going to hire any more. Whether we hire 1, 2, or even 3, because that would meet in the budget. Is advertising and promotion not viable, or is this that was in the notes from the previous one? So I don't see any reason why not, but what is going on in that area?
Senor Allen, he didn't see a reason to increase the budget on the advertising and promotion. We're trying to reach more customers, and the hardest part is getting to them first. And what salesmen are in Mexico, they're good at closing the sale. They're good at what the salesmen are used for is not so much as reaching out to someone. They're good for completing the sale. They're good for giving more information, backing up our product, and just like what a regular
building that trust.
Yes, building their trust. And I think if advertising and promotion, I feel like if we increase that or budget on that as opposed to increasing our sales staff, that our salesmen right now would be able to sell more, and while we were able to reach a broader audience.
Okay. I mean, do we have a kind of a plan for how we would do that? Any is social media, or is the TV, or commercials big, or is going out and doing do any kind of PR, like public relations?
Yeah,
is that something that we're looking at doing?
I feel that would be a good idea, the PR. One way, I mean, because our companies around here, we revolve around family, and also families go to sporting events. It's not so much watching TV, and of course, yeah, we do watch TV. We watch the games on TV. I feel like the broadcasting through that, or maybe giving an advertisement in a soccer game, would be we would be able to reach more people in our audience, because whenever there is a soccer game, people are out of work and they're watching the game and they see our advertisement. It's reaching everybody that's off of work that day. So
now, I mean, I would venture, or it would seem to be like advertising for a football game,
right?
Would be pretty costly. So we just kind of have to see, is that something can we feasibly do as far as money wise?
Right. Yes. And
but I'm definitely for advertising and promotion. Just make sure that we just got to see what we got to do on that side is costs. Do you have any costs on that, or?
As of right now, no, we don't. I'm not sure where we are as far as the budget's concerned on those, and but one thing I just wanted to focus on, and not so much increasing our sales staff, as rather than putting the budget that's on the sales staff that you propose to increase our sales staff, put that money towards the advertising. I don't have an idea as how much it would be to advertise in events like that, or how much it would cost to advertise in areas. I just feel like that would be the best way to increase our sales, is through that end, as opposed to the sales staff.
Okay. All right.
So any other? I guess the next thing we could talk about is the commission structure and the sales growth.
Okay.
One thing I find that it is we are, the commission is based on the revenues that we receive on each sale, as opposed to what we have now as as opposed to the number of licensed subscriptions we sell. I feel that it needs to be the number of licenses we sell, not the difference, or a percentage of the revenues we generate. I feel that would give more power to our salesmen to be able to build that trust. They would be able to sell not based on how much money they get for each product, but for how many products they sell. And I feel that would build the trust between our customers and our company more.
On the commission, because I noticed it too, is it's a bit different. So you have it's currently 50% fixed, and then 50% commission, and then there's a commission pool that's at like 9%. And I would say for the salespeople, I would think we could benefit more by really eliminating like like a sales pool, and actually committed to more like increasing the commission of the salespeople, especially those from 30% to 40%.
Right.
And then that's also, but increasing it if they're doing like 10% or less on a discount rate. So like if they're able to close a deal and do it at 10%, they're going to get a higher percentage. Otherwise, they're going to still get the 30%. They just won't get the 40%. So it's an extra 10% for motivation on that side. So I think that's a way we could maybe increase sales, is giving them more of an incentive to definitely sell more of the product. That's where we're going to make our money from it.
Yeah, and the way we have it structured now, because we are family oriented. The commission pool, it gives our team, it promotes our team to work together. Our staff, we all work together, and with the 9% pool for our president, vice president, salespeople, and our training personnel, it's important for us all to work together. And if one salesman is out there and he's doing great, and while the other one is doing poorly, doing the increased sales per individual would not promote them to communicate with each other. What points are they talking about? How is this person doing so well, and how is this one not doing so well? With the pool, they're more likely to work together. They give information to him as to help him out, and basically to communicate with it's just to promote our teamwork, and it rewards it.
Okay. The reason why I say that is because I've noticed that the 3 newest salespeople are actually doing very well as compared to some of the ones that have been here been with the company for a while, and it just seems like there is some mediocrity that's going on. It's like just kind of like settling down on the older staff. Is there a way to motivate them more to sell more than the new staff? That's one of the main concerns, is maybe suggesting the sales commission being transformed into something different.
Do you mean as for like growth in sales, as in reaching new customers, or extending our relationship, our sales to the older clients?
New leases and new customers? Yeah.
I don't know how we can get our older salesmen. I don't know how we can promote them to sell more or to reach out to newer clients. Our newer salesmen, they're more motivated to go reach out to people that they know, more motivated and the more energy to go reach out to other people. I feel like that we can find a way to do that, but I feel the commission pool is the best way, because it allows them to communicate with each other, and it would not impede on the other person. It would help our whole company.
Okay. Well, is there? I would think there's a way to. Okay, maybe first commission is also restructuring it off of the sales. They're not like the commission pool. So being that it's 9%. I would say maybe for also the non-sales roles, be like eliminated as far as in the commission pool, and the reason why I say that is because they're not the ones who are actually selling the product, you know. So that if the ones that are selling the product are able to help each other work better and increase the profits, you know, as a whole, that will increase, you know, their work together. On like the receptionist or the financial person, you know, it's they're on the very back end of that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and we do give them a lesser percentage. We give them 5% as opposed to 9%. Yeah, I see.
You know, maybe restructuring for like a bonus or something at the end of the year, or just like something that's not necessarily based off of sales, just you know, depending on their own personal job, but they do well in their job and keeping up with the finances and doing well with the customer service coming in. You know, maybe they just have like a bonus at the end of the year, so it's not based off of sales. It's a little more costly, you know, to do it off of sales itself.
Right, I see what you're saying. While I agree that that it doesn't make sense for the receptionist and the financial manager to have a stake in or receive a part of the commission from the sales. Like I said, it helps our teamwork. It rewards our people from working together. We can. I agree with you. I think the bonus would be that could possibly be a solution to that, and also maybe you know, taking them off. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, we can revisit it later.
Yes.
So.
Is there another concern? I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a concern. I just didn't have too much information as to Senor Martinez, your brother. What is his job in the company? What does he do as far as making the company better and so on and so forth?
Well,
I recognize that he's the vice president, but
right.
We have kind of no records. You know, we know that he was a teacher, had no sales experience, stuff like that. So we're just concerned as to what does he do, because he's also the second highest paid in the company too. That's our other concern as far as what's going on there.
Well, my brother plays a very important role in everything that we do. I don't believe he's anything to do with our sales. I don't believe he's has any adverse effect to anything we do in our business. He's important in what he does. He helps me in everything I do. I don't know what kind of response you're looking for about him. He's I don't know.
One of the things we were just thinking is, could he also do any sales also? That was the only other thing is, I don't know what that was. We were just wondering, like, what does he do other, being your vice president and everything, trying to run the company, but we're just trying to see ways of cutting costs, and driving sales, and so we can ride out this storm that we're going through right now.
Well, my brother, he's vital to what he does right now. Without him, we would not be able to survive at all. He helps things flow. He does a lot for us. While you might see that he doesn't save a lot of making him go out and do sales may earn extra revenue, but what he does for the office personnel, and while he keeps the flow of information, the flow of everything, he maintains that, and without him being able to do that, I feel we would waste a lot of money not having him in that role. He saves us a lot of money by preventing errors, and he's just I I don't feel like
So
I feel like he's in the right spot where he is right now. I wouldn't want to change his role at all.
So you're just saying he's very good at managing the staff itself.
He's an excellent manager. He's
making sure things are actually getting done the way they need to get done.
He's in the right spot for what he's doing.
Okay. And one other thing that we're looking at was the budget in Guadalajara.
Mm-hmm.
There was five budgeted for the job, 3 full and two temps. There was 7 that's on the payroll, and my understanding too is that there were some issues with absenteeism.
Mm-hmm.
In America, like, being late too much without any excuses is you get fired for that. And you show no dedication to your job, or at least a respect to call in and say, hey, this is what's going on, or whatever. So I think there should be some kind of policy made there that prevents or would limit this issue of having absenteeism, along with bringing back the budget number back down.
Mm-hmm. I guess. Is there any other solution, do you think, to that? One thing that I feel is the issue right there is it's their ability to make it to work, and while work and attending and if you get fired in America because you don't show up, that's y'all's culture.
Mm-hmm.
It may come off as us being lazy, or not us, or it might come off as us workers being lazy, but as opposed to punishing those that don't show up, I feel we should have a different approach as to reward those that do show up. Maybe provide commission or an award for attending anything, or maybe include in the budget some transportation costs to be able to reach there, some way to make it easier for them to attend, ways to help them attend. Punishing them for not coming it's not good for the culture that we have established. They
right.
will not.
No, it's not necessarily punishing for not coming. It's like not showing up at all, because it's not. Whether you're late, it's one thing too, but whether you're actually not coming to work is also another, and it makes it harder for the others to get their job done.
Right.
So if you're getting a temp in, and the temp is able to get in when called, what about hiring that temp to be on full staff, because they're actually able to come to work? And that's one of the things is like, well, you got to draw a line somewhere, and companies in general, and that's worldwide, is you can't lose money because of continue to lose money, not necessarily lose some money, but continue to lose money because especially the vital roles that they play as far as keeping the operations of the budget in Mexico City running well. If they aren't running well, then the sales and everything else will be shut down. So I think there is a vital role that needs to be played there. I'm not saying we have to eliminate both the temps, but at least one, to bring the budget back down, or if there is continuing issues, from one person or another, that there needs to be something there in place that you have basis to fire upon, and that way also you won't. I don't know if this is how the law is that if they aren't working themselves and you have a basis to fire, that you have to pay them a severance package, because if they are, is that how the law is? Is in general that they get fired,
yes.
or is
if they get fired, if we would have to pay a severance pay for the 2 to 3 months that they would weeks. However much it is, that we would have to pay that. Yes, that's how the law works.
Even if there is basis that
yes,
aren't working,
so.
or
that is. I believe that's how the law works. If we would do that, anything we can do to help them in their situation, because whether they're going through something. I feel one way we can approach it. Yeah, if people don't show up, they shouldn't be rewarded for it. I agree with that. They should not be rewarded and they should be punished. But we should, like I said, we could have transportation allowances, and if they still don't come, then that would give us a basis to fire them. And I don't know how to argue that one. Right. I feel the transportation allowance would help them, encourage them to come more often. Would help them, encourage them to come on time. And if it does not increase, it would help. I mean, if it does not increase their attendance, they would. I feel that would give us a basis to fire them, or to relieve them. Is there any other concerns you have? I mean, I have a few of my own that we can talk about.
Okay.
One being, I'm just curious, where are we getting the budgeted numbers? I'm just kind of confused. I don't have any input on that as to how much we're able to spend on our sales staff, or how much we're able to spend on our advertising and promotions. I'm not sure where we get those numbers and why that is. How I would like to have more say in how we get those numbers, and because the American culture, it's the statistics over there would not correlate to the culture that we have. I mean, y'all might have more commission put on to more budget put towards advertising and promotion and less to the sales staff, but that doesn't mean that the sales staff, the less commission than the sales staff, and more commission to the sales staff and less to the advertising promotion would mean anything over here. I feel like it's complete opposite. I feel like we need to be able to put our own numbers in and see how our market compares to our numbers compared to our market, as opposed to the American statistics,
right?
And use those statistics on our market.
But
I think that's a good idea.
The other thing we look at too is that, I mean, yes, we are a joint venture, but we propose these budgets is because we also have a higher stake, more to lose in the company itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's through our operations and planning management is what they've determined what we need to still make the profits on our side and also on your side too. So that's where we're at on as far as setting the budget, so that back in Mexico City, that the business itself is able to run and thrive, so that with our pricing, we're able to pay our staff, have the sales commission taken care of on the flip side, so that both you and Workforce USA
Mm-hmm.
are able to profit as best as possible.
Okay.
So I mean, if you have numbers, that we definitely up for suggestions, but since you definitely know the culture and everything, but this is what we feel that we, as far as business to keep it up and going, this is what we have budgeted for the company itself.
Yeah, and I agree that. Yeah, that we the budgeted numbers are having a budget is important, and I understand that y'all do have a larger stake in this operation. The ability for it to succeed is a big part, and a larger part to you, but it's also important to us. The As long as I'm able to have more input on the numbers that we have over here as for our market and finding our target market for finding our target market, I think it's more important for me to be able to our company to provide those numbers.
What numbers are we discussing too, as far as
the budget for overall? I just didn't know where y'all got those from. I would like to have my own input in that, and I don't feel like you Workforce USA. I don't feel as if you trust my company's judgment in putting these numbers in. Is that an issue? Do y'all feel like we're not competent enough to be able to provide our own numbers and do things to where we were able to increase the sales in our own market? Is that an issue?
We're not saying that at all.
Okay.
That's something I would have to coordinate back with headquarters. I would have to talk back with them on that. That's something that I
Okay.
would have to revisit.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we kind of we covered every concern that I have, and that's everything. We can go back over it and try to. We can, if you would like, we can start going over these numbers, and
Right.
hopefully we can work out a deal to hopefully continue this operation. Let's see. I guess we can start at the top with the pricing structure. And you said that you give a 15% discount on new customers.
Mm-hmm.
And while each license it pays for, what was it, a year or 2 years? I forgot. Yeah, $100 per year, and it often involves a 2 to 3 year contract. So
Mm-hmm.
would that 15% discount cover the first contract, or was it just cover the first year?
The 15%. I mean, as far as 50% can be offered for a limited time to new customers, meaning for an entire year we can offer 15% to new customers. Now the contract they would be signing would be 15% for the next 2 or 3 years, depending on whatever contract they sign.
Okay, so for the first year that we start this deal, it is 15% for all the people in that first year that sign up,
Mm-hmm.
not 15% for every first year for every customer for the rest of this joint venture.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So I mean, because the economy comes back, I mean, you don't want to offer 15%, and then in a year from now we're still doing 15% when we don't need to. We can go back to 10% or even less than 10%. Where
Right.
we don't have to actually discount it, because there's going to be cases that we don't have to do that. But in negotiations, if we have to do that, I mean, then the 15% should be a secure blanket for the next 3 years for those who are trying to plan in the future.
Right. And is there any way that we can increase that percentage? I agree with you. I feel like it's in the best interest for us to do this for the year until the peso increases in its value. And is there any other way that we can increase the 15%, maybe to 17, 18%?
For an entire 3 year, contract?
Yeah, for the first year. And just the percentage, I agree, the new customer for the first year, that would increase our sales, and it would give power to our employees, to our salesmen, to give our customers more relief on their cutbacks, because we need to give our product to them, or not give it, we need to sell our product to them. But I feel like the 18% would help our salesman.
Okay. So I think we could do that. 18% first year, right?
Yes, I think that's in the best interest for the company.
For the first year of the contract, or all 3 years? Just to clarify.
Off the 3-year license, 2 to 3 year license. Are you opposed to that, or because it's an overall? It's to encourage people to stay with us, and with the license, the contract, they are going to stay with us, but we'd like for them to continue to be with us, and maybe whenever it picks back up, the value picks back up, we would be able to negotiate this number again. But this temporary number, the 18%, it would increase our sales for the next year, and to allow them to continue that discount for the next, however long their contract says, for the next 2 or 3 years. I think that's the best.
Okay. I would venture to say limit it to 2 years.
Okay.
A 2-year contract. If they want to extend it to 3 years, 18%, we can guarantee them another lower rate at, like, say, 15% in the 3rd year, where we might already go back down to a lower discount rate. So,
what if, to encourage that, the longer contract again? What if we say the 15%? The 18% for the 3 years, and the 15% for the 2-year contract. Do it that way.
We could do it that way.
Okay. All right, I agree with that. So, for the first year, 15%. Was it 15 or 18? Yeah, 18. For the 3 years.
And 2 years for the 15.
All right. Yeah, I like that. I think that would be very beneficial to both of us.
All right. So we talked about the sales staff and everything. Doing more heavily advertising promotion. I think we both kind of agree upon that.
All right. So no new salesman. Just put the money budgeted to sales staff into the advertising promotion. Do you agree to that? Or is that what you had in mind? I'm making sure we're clear on both of them.
Right, we can definitely increase it. Maybe not necessarily I'll use up the entire budget, but just in case we do need to hire someone at some point, maybe not now, but in the future, just maybe because we're increasing sales or whatever, so we need another salesperson to help with the load. So, but definitely use some of the budget to increase the promotion and sales.
Okay, so what percent would you say?
I say we could start with what's left in the current budget, 50% of the current budget
for the sales staff, and then add that 50% to the advertising, and leave the 50% for the sales staff that for possible new hires or something like that.
Right. So
so
having whatever's left in the budget for the sales staff, 50% will go to the advertisement and promotion.
Okay, all right, I agree to that. All right, the next issue is the commission and commission structure. You stated what was it? You increasing in addition with the sales pool, the salespeople. What was it?
Well, the sales commission, increasing from 30 to 40% if you're getting sales that are 10% or less of a discount, so trying to promote where we're still saying, well, we really want to not discount too much or as much as possible, but if we have to, yeah, we're gonna do the 15 and 18%. Now that's,
are we gonna do the commission based off of the number of licenses sold, or is it going to be based off the revenue? I mean, like I said, with the based off of the revenue, it tells our salesmen to sell on a price and to help them, and that doesn't really back up the trustingness that we have. We want to be able, our customers to be able to trust us. We want them to have a good product. We want to sell as many products as we can, as opposed to sell as much as we can for each product. So as opposed to more dollars per unit, it's more units per capita. How would you feel about that? I feel like that would get us more sales,
and you don't think that increasing the commission percentage would increase the by the sales, would increase the sales overall?
For the revenue?
Yes.
Or
the standard sales?
No, it might, but I know for sure, and I feel like I keep saying this, in our culture, the unit sales, volume grow, business in tougher conditions. With these tougher conditions, we're able to, if the more units we sell, I feel like that would be better as opposed to selling it for a higher dollar. We're trying to help our customers as rather than trying to pinch every penny we can get out of them. And, how do you feel about that? What do you think? It helps them to worry less about the commission and more about trying to close the sale.
Okay, so but with the commission, to do it per license, we'll have to would need to restructure the percentage though.
Right, I agree. Yeah,
because then we're
10% commission is totally different on revenue as opposed to each license.
Yes.
So
because we're talking about 3,000 licenses per company, and that's the minimum aim. So I mean, that's a lot of licenses. So that's why it's like, well, can you really base off of we're averaging 3,000 licenses. What would be the commission for that?
Yeah.
So that's why it was really based off of sales versus the actual licenses itself, because a company's only going to want to buy so much. They don't want to buy more than what they actually need, and that's why we've done it off of sales versus the licenses itself. I mean.
Okay. We can decrease the percentage. I feel, yeah, that it would. I understand why you want to do it off of the sales. That it makes sense. If you feel that is the best way, we can.
Right, we can increase the commission by 10% by increasing the incentive that, hey, you sell, for all the licenses you sell that are 10% and under, you're going to increase your percentage by 10%. Now, we can even go even further into that, and maybe if no, I mean, utilizing that their 10%. Let's see. But you agree with the increasing the 10% if it's above the, if it's below the 10% discount rate? And whether they end up getting the sale or not, they at least start with it higher and then they work down from there, and it makes it look more appealing to have the 15 or 18% incentives also.
Right, I agree. All right, I feel like that's the best way we can go. All right, so increase commission 10% on sales. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
From 30% to 40%.
Okay. The commission pool.
But you do think the commission pool is the best way?
I feel that is the best way. I feel our teamwork is vital to our success.
Okay.
So we're gonna continue the commission pool with the percentages for each person, or did you have something else in mind?
It being that you're all family oriented, that kind of does bring team together. So,
right.
We can see that it works well on that side.
Okay.
I know your brother does really well with managing the people to do well.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say maybe getting him to also then manage the older employees a little bit more to see about improvements on ways they can reach out to more people. Maybe working out something like that. Now that's not like something a formal deal, but that's something that I'm sure that your brother can do because he's very good at motivating his staff.
Right.
So I think that would be another way of also increasing the revenues there and increasing their profits too. The staff that's been, the sales staff that's been longer.
Right. All right. Yeah. That sounds good. So, like you said, with my brother, president, vice president, salesperson, and training personnel received 9. Receptionist, financial manager, you said 5. And my brother, he will do better to manage the older sales staff.
Okay. The other thing was excuse me?
Is that the percentage you want? That's good. Keep pools, keep percentage.
I was thinking of going with owner receptionist and like the finance manager is more as like a bonus structure instead of the percentage of sales. And it's not that they aren't a part of the team, because that still makes them still a part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
It just puts them more on the relevance of their own work itself. So, putting that, I'm only talking about the receptionist and the financial manager, finance manager. That just kind of rewards their own thing instead of on the sales side. And what that would do on the sales side is that the salespeople will keep more of their money,
okay.
So to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of helps promote them to sell more too,
right.
On that side. So
okay.
I would say like a bonus structure would be a better way.
Okay, here we go. The labor in Guadalajara.
Mm-hmm.
you do not agree that we should give a small bonus to the employees who attend work regularly, and you also do not agree to use transportation allowances for the ones that do show up.
I mean, is transportation costly? I mean, what is?
It's a common practice here in Mexico that we do provide incentive for people to show up as opposed to punishing those that don't show up. It's the allowance. I don't feel it would be that much. I don't feel like it would. I don't feel like it would be a large hit because, as I've said many times, because we're a family, we all live kind of close to each other. I think the average time to, let's see.
Is there like a carpool thing that can be done, or is this transportation in general, like they don't own their own vehicles?
No, I don't think it would be. I don't feel like we should pay for their vehicle or provide them a company vehicle. I don't think that's the right way to go about it at all. But I think a carpool idea is to promote people to come to work. Say, people have a friend to ride to work or someone that they live next to, but someone that doesn't show up, give those people an allowance to ride together, and it would get them to motivate each other to go to work each day.
Right.
So,
do you think? I mean, there could be some motivation there. I definitely think we would still need to cut those who. Okay. All right. Motivate those.
Been here for 2 hours.
I mean, but I think there should still be something in place that says, if you're having transportation being provided, or at least we're having some kind of support there, as long as it's reasonable. I mean, we gotta. And then also we want to eliminate any excess staff that we don't need. Definitely at least one. But if we, which would be that temporary staff. So or utilizing the transportation help, that would really eliminate both those two temporary staff, because they aren't, and then utilizing the money that you were spending there to kind of help finance that and for a period of time,
Mm-hmm. All right, so provide support, but fire those who do not attend work after not everything, after we help them as much as we can, and also to.
Right. So I mean, we're already we enacted say tomorrow and everything. I mean,
right.
That if they miss four absences, and especially if you miss like consecutive, say 3 or more, because even in America too, like 3 absences in a row, it's automatic termination, no pay, no nothing, because it was job abandonment. It's just you went, as though you went and got another job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that would be another thing too. So, but I'm saying like four consecutive after there's put warning. So you have a warning or two if they're not necessarily that they're late, but that they just don't show up. So
the warning is for if they don't show up, not
right.
so much they get there late.
Maybe have like 2 warnings, and then the third one is considered an absentee. And then, but thereafter, they're all absentee, not that they get 2 warnings per absentee. Unless they go several months, if it's something that's not very regular, then we don't have to penalize a person for not being there from time to time.
Okay, so how many absences do you say?
I'll say 4 in total, 4. And that really muddles out there even what's in America. I think it's fair. It's not just a coincidence you're just missing. But also, even if you just miss 4, but it's every like several months or so, that's something that's judgmental. That's a judgment call.
So, like after say a year, because after the year, that's when the person would that's when we'd have to pay them. So say it would restart every year or so, like that. If 4 absences over a year is not.
Well, yeah, over a year.
Okay, so.
Now, it was within the first year for those that are just starting to work there.
Okay.
So we hired a new person. That person may be subject within that first year to be fired, and there will be nothing to have to be paid for them for absences. But they still have the warning, so on and so forth. But then thereafter, we have to worry about obviously paying for it later. But that's a different story on the other side.
I like that idea. I think that settles both of our issues. The next issue is the budget numbers. I would like to have more input on those numbers and to help not only our joint venture to promote sales in Mexico. I feel like our numbers are different for our culture than it is for yours. Is there any way that I can have more input on the budget that we have? And I feel like that would also solve the disparity in the amount that we have put towards new sales staff and the advertising. I feel like that would help settle that issue. I feel I had more input on that, we wouldn't have had that issue.
The only thing is I'm not too familiar with that side of the agreement on what's to say, who has final say, and so on and so forth. I mean, at most I could tell you that your opinion is definitely valued to the company. So definitely, as far as that's concerned, I know we can definitely go through that. But I don't know about saying that you ultimately really have the say as what's going on. That I don't know what the agreement was in the beginning, and so that's something that would have to be revisited when more information is known on that.
Okay, it's just I feel okay. That settles what I just wanted to make sure that between our two companies in this. Excuse me. Workforce Internationales. I feel that the trust between us is important for this entity to continue. That was my main concern, is the trust. And I understand you don't have much information to give me as far as to.
Right. I mean,
I just wanted to make sure y'all trusted my opinion, and that's what I really cared about.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely trust your opinion. We definitely value it because I mean, you're on the front lines with it, and you're working with the people. So we need to know what's going on, because then we can actually better evaluate the budget and maybe expand the budget or increase it or also give on the eyes on the back end and say, hey, there's issues going on. These are some of the areas that need to be fixed. Sometimes it may seem like you can't see where it's at, and so that's why it's good to have two sets of eyes.
Yeah, and it give you better insight to how successful we're really being as in our culture as opposed to the American culture. And I feel like y'all would be more satisfied with that. Okay, so I agree to that. Is there anything that you feel like we need to touch up on that we can revisit later?
I would say, later is one of the concerns was probably the commission pool, stuff like that. That was just one of the main concerns. But if sales increase, I don't see any reason why that would have to be questioned later on.
Okay.
And then I think we're good there.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, senor.